Hello friends, and welcome to another episode of Moment to Pause. I am Fay, your host, and I am so excited that you are here in this very important episode. We are going to talk about something that feels more important than ever, meditation, and why it is essential in our modern life. You know, my friend, our life is in such a fast pace that sometimes we cannot get a hold of it. And it brings lots of frustration and anxiety to us. However, remembering the power of simply pausing can help regulate all of these emotions and bring our nervous system back to balance. To understand and dive deep into the importance of meditation and where to start, I am joined by a very dear friend and someone who believes in community and giving back. From volunteering with social justice organization to offering free legal advice while she was studying law. After graduation, she went on to work with some of the largest Australian companies. But after a while, like many of us, she experienced the toll of corporate life and eventually burnout. Through yoga and meditation, she found her balance. She got inspired to take a different path, and now she is a yoga teacher and a meditation facilitator of Hatha Yoga. Hi Geri, and welcome. I'm so happy that you're here, and I'm sure that our listeners, not only our listeners, but also me, going to benefit from your wisdom, experience, and journey.
Thank you so much, Faye. I'm so excited to be here, as you know, and thank you so much for that introduction. As you said, it's been a journey that has unfolded over many, many years. As you mentioned in the introduction, in another life, many moons ago, I was working as a lawyer. I'd been in the legal industry for many, many years, and really the crux of when yoga and meditation came into my life, it was at a point where I was experiencing significant burnout from my career. I was doing long days on call. I was working with some really tricky matters and deeply affected by the work that I was doing. But at that time, I wasn't mindful at all. I was completely dysregulated from my body. I was losing touch with my relationships and losing a bit of the sense of who I was, which, as you said, I'm someone who is deeply passionate about social justice issues and supporting the community. And so the silver lining of that burnout was realizing that I couldn't keep up. And it was through, I had been dabbling in yoga for a few years before that. I had a bit of an on and off relationship with yoga. But I was lucky enough that my parents had experienced meditation before and had introduced me to it over the course of my life at different intervals. But it was actually after speaking with my GP. She said, look, have you thought about doing meditation? And it was really the push for me to go and explore it properly. And that is where everything started to unfold. I started doing my own meditation. I developed a pretty strong practice myself, and I noticed a really visible shift in my mindset, how I was looking at my life, how I was looking at opportunities. And after realizing those benefits for myself, and having this purpose to serve my community, I felt that I could intersect those two things, and that's what inspired me to then become a meditation teacher myself and give that benefit back to other people.
100%. That's beautiful. Thank you. And Geri, you know that you tap into the life that you had, which was always giving. You know, so you are because of the social works that you were doing, you were always giving and not receiving. So, do you think that's also incorporated with your burnout? You know, the feeling drained and tired, and how meditation give that. Give that back to you. Like how did you experience that?
Yes, that's actually a really good call out, and 100% true. I think that for a lot of people, when you are serving others, particularly if you're quite an empath, right? You really feel and experience other people's distress or their emotions. Speaking from personal experience, I was giving and giving and giving and getting really invested in the outcomes of, say, my clients' cases. And I love the saying that you can't pour from an empty cup. It's the same thing as, you know, when the plane is going down, you put your own mask on first before you help others.
Exactly.
But when we're in the throes of helping other people, it can be really hard to remember that. So meditation absolutely was a gift to myself, and not in a selfish way, but
in a self-care way.
In a self-caring way.
Self-love.
Exactly, because you really can't help other people if you are in a position of constant stress and anxiety yourself. So meditation is very much like a mini holiday, a mini vacation that you can give yourself at any time if you need to recuperate and reconnect with yourself.
Exactly. And you know, in our busy lives, sometimes we feel like it is impossible to find a time to sit down and not think about anything and just meditate. And can you tell us about that? Like, what do you think about first of all, how do we find the time to meditate? You know, we're living in a fast-paced society that time is ticking. You know, as a parent, I wake up in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. I know that I have to prepare lunch, dinner, and you know, lunch box and everything. And my time is
yes. That's a really, really valid question, because we are increasingly time poor and we're constantly connected to our work and the demands of life, whether you're a caregiver of sorts or you're, you know, managing a team and you're dealing with emails and that type of thing. We're time pressed. There is another, I think it's a Chinese proverb that says, if you're too busy to meditate, you need to meditate more, right? Because I understand why people feel like they can be too busy to meditate, but if you were really honest and transparent with ourselves, certainly I know I've had to be honest with myself. I used to spend a lot of time on TikTok, right? Scrolling and that sort of thing, right? So there are little moments throughout our day where if you really audit it, you should be able to find even a minute or two. A big misconception that a lot of people have about meditation is that you have to sit for 20, 40 minutes or an hour to meditate, which is completely untrue. You know, 2 minutes a day, even that is clinically proven to improve your stress levels, your anxiety levels. And so my advice to anyone who is feeling that time pressure is to, let's say you're a busy parent, not to be crude, but you'll go to the bathroom, right? At some time during the day, you can take that moment, maybe before you step back out into your world, you take that moment to just close down your eyes and really reconnect with the breath, center yourself, and then go forward into the rest of your day. And you can incorporate those mindful pauses many times throughout your day. If you think about, say, every time you go for a bathroom break, before you exit, taking a mindful pause. Maybe when you're making a tea, it can be subtle, but it can be so impactful. If you're on the train, you can do the same thing. So I say my advice is take advantage of the small moments.
Yeah. I'll tell you about my experience. Like when I start, meditating. So for me, it was absolutely impossible because I was just thinking that, look, I need to sit down for a good 20 minutes or minimum 10 minutes, canceling, erasing all my thought and meditate. And after a while, like I tried for a good month and I said to myself, Fay, your mind is not made for meditation. Give up. Give up. And I did that, to be honest, until I went to the yoga teacher training.
Yeah.
And by the way, we did yoga teacher training together. and I started meditating again because I got introduced and the essence of meditation and its benefit. And I said to myself, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna give it a go again. So what I did, how I started it, as soon as I drop off my daughter at the kindy and I sit in car, I used to immediately drive and go to other tasks, doing other things. But when I start meditating, I sit in the car even for 2 minutes. I just close down my eyes, take a few deep breaths, and it immediately gave me the sense of calmness, easiness, and I'm like, I'm ready to go 60 other tasks.
Yes.
And that was my starting point. And then 2 minutes become 5 minutes. That 5 minutes turned to 5 a.m. in the morning, wake up and do another 10 minutes. And it becomes a 20 minutes regular practice. And the benefits of it, it's amazing. And I want you to talk about the benefit of meditation as a teacher. Tell us about how it's going to affect our mind, how it's going to affect our body.
I absolutely love your own story of meditation, how you tried it, left it, and came back to it and built up a gradual practice.
Yeah.
I think that that's such a common experience, and the beauty is the coming back.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's coming back, it's trying again, and not being judgmental.
100%.
That 2 minutes in the car is perfect.
Yeah.
In terms of the benefit, how long do we have? How long do we have?
Tell us.
Well, look, I think that, of course, it firstly, it helps you develop a greater sense of mindfulness. Most people, they call it the third space. So essentially, a lot of us will be presented with stimulus, and we then have an immediate response. Stimulus response, and that's very much an autopilot, I guess an autopilot mode. Meditation helps you to start widening the space between the stimulus and the response, so that rather than being ruled by the lizard brain and that automatic, fight, flight, freeze, we have this space in between where we can actually recognize what emotions are being brought up because of that stimulus, and we can choose the kind of response that we offer. So firstly, I think that is the most practical benefit for a lot of people.
Yeah.
We've probably met, I don't know if you've met these people before, I know I certainly have multiple times, the kind of people who will blow up at anything, right? They have a really immediate instant reaction, and you can tell they probably haven't thought about their reaction, or maybe not thinking about the consequences of their actions. And so for those people, meditation is such a gift because you can regulate your emotions and your response is better.
That's right.
And of course, as we heard in our yoga teacher training, dis-ease is dis-ease.
100%.
And so I suppose then from a more physiological perspective, it helps to stimulate your parasympathetic nervous system, so your rest and digest functions. When we are in a constant state of fight or flight, our sympathetic nervous system is activated. There's all this adrenaline and cortisol rushing through our body, and it affects everything. It affects your ability to sleep, to it affects your digestive system, your hormones. So there's a lot of benefit to meditation because it helps regulate those different functions that are occurring in your body.
And does it affect the manifestation of our life? What we manifest in the future?
Yeah, well, the way that it was, so stress is the way that it was explained to me is that depression is worrying about the past, anxiety is worry about the future, and neither of those things are in our control, right? The only moment that we have control over is the present moment. And meditation helps us reconnect with that. Helps us to bring us back into the present moment. So as far as manifestation and it impacting our future, what it does is it brings you clarity. It brings you clarity around the present moment because you can make more informed decisions about your future instead of acting on impulse or anxiety because of a concern about the future. You can be really intentional, really purposeful about the future that you want to build.
Tell us, how does meditation connect with yoga beyond the mat? And how can we connect it and relate it to ourselves and to our world?
That's a really good point, actually. I think when people think about yoga, they think it's just the poses, which is fine, you know, that's fair enough. But actually, as we now both know through our course, yoga has 8 different limbs, with the poses being just one of them. So meditation's another limb. And so technically, if you're a meditator, you're also a yogi. You are doing yoga.
100%.
In terms of how we relate it to ourselves or to other people, with meditation, we were talking before about people picking it up and then leaving it and maybe coming back to it later. A really common experience that new meditators will have is they'll start meditation and it will feel too hard, or things might come up for them that they don't feel comfortable with, that maybe brings up some stagnant emotions and that sort of thing. So that's also a really common experience. Quite often when we start meditation, what happens is meditation is like a mirror, and it reflects back at us all of the great things, but also all of the yucky things too. And when we sit with ourselves and give ourselves the opportunity to sit with ourselves for long enough, we will see the good, the bad, and the ugly. And so quite often that's the point where people stop meditating. And so my invitation to anyone listening is to push past that point if it's safe for you to do so and you feel comfortable to do so, because it's on the other side of that. That's where the beauty of it lies. In terms of how we relate it to others, it can, like we were mentioning earlier, it can provide such a sense of clarity because all of the distractions of life, all of the noise, it falls away, and you develop this ability to be able to see things really clearly, and you'll be able to see relationships in a new light, understand how they may or may not actually be that valuable to you. So that's, I guess, how meditation relates to yoga and how it relates to ourselves and other people.
Definitely. Oh, thank you. That was actually a beautiful point. I really love that. And for so many people that want to or try to do meditation, they think that they need to cancel and erase all the thoughts in their mind. That's what I started doing, and then I just get disappointed because I thought it's not gonna work out for me because I can never ever stop my brain, my thoughts, because everything like a shooting star moving through my head. And so, how would you suggest our audience, our listeners who wants to experience meditation, or they've been doing meditation, but they're still caught up with this thing that can you tell us about that?
Look, I really want to normalize that to start with, because it happens to all of us. Even the most seasoned meditators will still experience sittings or practices where they're constantly dealing with these thoughts. And the first thing that I say to people when they say, I've got too many thoughts on my mind, I can't meditate, or I'm not a good meditator, is you're going to have thoughts. The only time that you are not going to have thoughts is when we cross over, right?
Yeah, that's right.
We can't, it's impossible to not have thoughts. That's what our brain is programmed to do. And so, especially when you start practicing, you are going to have these shooting stars coming through your brain.
Yeah.
And the practice is in recognizing when those thoughts appear and then bringing yourself back into the present moment. So it's this constant recognition and pulling back. That's right. Where the practice actually is. And that's what people would, remind people of, is that meditation is not a switch where you turn it on and you're meditating or you're a meditator and then you turn it off. It's a practice, just like going to the gym.
Exactly.
You don't build your biceps by doing it once. It happens over time, and eventually that meditation muscle gets stronger. So then it's easier for you to pick up those weights and to be able to come into the present moment. So,
and the other things that I can say about my own experience, that now that I do meditation, I understand that I can take control of my thoughts. I don't let them to rule over me. I rule over my thought and I choose them. I've been telling my daughter, sorry again, I brought my daughter. my daughter is going to be in all the topics. I'm very sorry. I've been telling, anytime that my daughter gets upset with something, I always go to her and I say, it's okay to be upset. Your emotions are valid. But we have a choice to be happy or be sad. We have a choice to control our mind and choose our thoughts that's going to create a better, calmer situation for us, or just let it to run over us and wash through us and drain our energy. In yoga, we learn how to use our energy. In what way? Is it going to benefit us or is it going to take us back? We are going one step forward or one step back. And sometimes it is okay to go one step back if you feel wobbly. If that thought that you think that, oh my God, it's going to benefit me, it's not going to benefit you. So it's always good to go one step back. But the beauty of meditation, so far, my experience, that I can control my thoughts. I can control what direction I want to go. I want to sit in this way and meditate in that way, and this is what I like to manifest. And so far it's been working for me. And I love it.
Living proof.
It's amazing.
I think you touched on a really interesting point there, and it's something that I think a lot of people think meditation is just about being positive or everything is fine, but you make a good point there around acknowledging when you're taking a one step back. Meditation isn't everything is rosy, let's forget all the bad stuff, but it's about being able to recognize what is good and what is bad and not getting swept away by either one.
Exactly. We are at the end, we are humans. Doesn't matter how long you sit down and meditate. We are humans. We are going to constantly have this human quality.
Exactly.
Until we are on this earth.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you. Geri, I was wondering, now that we are talking about meditation, the benefits of it in our mind and in our brain and in our body, in our daily life, would you please give us like a 5 minutes guided meditation?
Absolutely.
I would love that.
Yes, of course. Yes,
thank
absolutely.
you. So, beautiful people, my friends, wherever you are, whatever you are doing, let's take a pause for 5 minutes together and let's journey through this guided meditation with Geri, which I'm going to be, it's going to be beautiful. I'm just going to hand it to Geri. Geri, you're the professional.
Thank you so much, Fay. Thank you for the invitation. I'd absolutely love to lead yourself and your listeners through a 5 minute meditation. So wherever you are, we'll just gently close down our eyes And we'll just spend a moment really settling into our positions. Take a few deep breaths in and out. You don't need to change your breath in any way. Resting your hands gently wherever they fall. And really just beginning to become aware of the breath. Noticing if it's shallow, maybe noticing the cool air as it enters through your nostrils, into your throat, maybe expanding your chest. Noticing the gentle rise and fall of your belly, your chest or your shoulders. And now seeing if you can allow yourself to become a bit heavier. Really grounding down through your sitting bones. Feeling and noticing that connection between your seat and your legs, your body. Becoming aware of the connection between your feet and the earth. Maybe picturing strong and steady roots growing from your feet down into the earth, anchoring you to this present moment. And then taking our attention to the crown of the head. What can you feel? Maybe it's a slight tingling or a breeze. We don't need to judge or correct our experience. We're just noticing whatever is present. Moving down to our eyebrows. Can you relax your brows? Soften your eyelids. Relax your mouth and your jaw. Softening your tongue. Notice if your mind drifts away, knowing that that is perfectly normal and okay. And whenever that happens, inviting your mind back to the present moment. Reconnecting with your breath as an anchor. Moving down the body now to your shoulders. Notice if they are hunched or drawing up to your ears. Can you soften them? Allow them to fall back. Bringing your attention to your arms. Maybe the feeling of your clothes. against your arms or beneath your hands. Can you notice the warmth between your hands and your thighs if they're rested there? Again, noticing the gentle rise and fall of your chest as you inhale and exhale. Maybe picturing your lungs expanding with air. And slowly exhale. Moving down to your stomach. Noticing if there's any rumbling. Maybe you're hungry, maybe you're full. Whatever sensation is there, just acknowledging it. Notice your sitting bones. Are you clenching? And can you relax just a little bit more? Bringing gentle attention to your knees. To your ankles. And to your toes. Just doing a sweep from head to toe. Notice if there's any new sensations that you can identify. Again, not judging any of our experience and just letting it be. Take a deep inhale through the nose and a soft exhale. And then when you're ready, slowly blinking open your eyes and returning to the present moment.
That was beautiful.
Thank you. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you all did as well.
That was really good.
I'm so
calming.
glad. I'm so glad. Yeah.
Oh, I feel so good now.
So it doesn't take too long.
Exactly.
The body scan meditation is one of my favorites because we can do that anywhere. Doesn't require anything.
Yeah.
So I hope that was a nice little moment of pause for yourself and your listeners.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can always come back to it if you want to start your meditation. That's your moment to pause and sit with your eyes closed and listen to Geri's voice again and over again. That's a very good beginning to meditate.
Yes.
How many kind of meditation do we have? Is there any type? Is there anything that people can go, search for it and look for it?
Yeah, absolutely. So there are lots of types of meditation and lots of different views about what is good meditation. Or, I think the best meditation is the one that you do.
Okay.
And so what I would encourage people listening at home to do is try a few different ones. Try to try each one without judgment.
Okay, with open heart.
With an open heart, yes, that's right. So we just practiced a body scan meditation. There is also breathing meditations. walking meditations. You could try transcendental meditation. There's lots of different kinds. So my recommendation for anyone starting is to start with, for me, I think the type of meditation isn't as important, because different meditations will resonate differently for different people. I think what's most important is to start small, be kind to yourself, and then continue with whichever resonates best with you. Yeah.
I know that we already talked about it or tapped into it a little bit, but does the position or the seat of the meditation important?
That's a really good question. Yeah, another misconception that a lot of people have is that you need to sit cross-legged on the floor, hands in, mudra, which is absolutely not necessary. If that is your bag and that you're comfortable with that, knock your socks off. But, maybe you've got knee issues or knee pain. Maybe you've got back issues, injuries, exactly. So sit and be however is most comfortable for you. Some people lie down when they meditate. I quite like sitting in a chair because you feel that support. So there is no one right way to sit.
Okay. Yeah. Beautiful. That's really beautifully said. Anything that you would like to add to today's show? Anything that you want to bring on, your experience that resonate with with everyone and also relevant to the show?
I think the key message that I want to drive home, or I really encourage anyone listening at home to think about, is be curious, be open-minded, like you said.
That's right.
Step into it with an open heart, and don't give up.
Exactly.
It's different. Your meditation practice will also feel different on different days, at different times of the month. Maybe there's a lot going on. You don't have to practice every day. Maybe it's every second day. Maybe it's once a week. But starting somewhere is better than not having something at all.
Really interesting that you just remind me of the story of the turtle and the hare, that being steady will take you to the end, not the force, not the speed. So being steady, being kind to yourself, and love yourself, basically.
Absolutely.
And give this time to yourself just to pause even for 5 minutes. And change is never going to happen over the night. It's going to happen over a very long time and over a long time practice.
Yes, that's right.
Geri, thank you so much for today. I loved the conversation. It was so beautiful. And thank you everyone for joining in today's show. If this episode resonates with you, share it with a friend who needs to take a pause and enjoy these 5 minutes of meditation. If you haven't, please follow us in the show so you don't miss the next episode. But until then, keep moving, keep breathing, and keep living your yoga. Namaste.
Thank you.